Okay, a lot going on the farm again today. Summit Goliath. I just sold mine 2 years ago because I said I wasn't going to climb anymore. And I've got a buck here that is showing up at a spot that I do not have a stand. So my place is set up with kill plots, water holes, mock scrapes, and I've got stands, permanent stands around all these locations. I got lone wolves and family tradition stands work out really well, and I've got a couple of box blinds over on the big plot, permanent blinds we built out of wood and drill stem to get them elevated and so on and so forth. But and I'm pretty quick with the lone wolves. You can get in and kind of get out. I'm not a saddle guy, so I decided to buy another one of these. I used to hunt lots and lots and lots of Missouri public land, Kansas public land here in Arkansas, and this was my go-to. It's a heavy stand, but it's so comfortable. I've slept many hours on one of these things, let me tell you. So we're gonna get this thing out of the box and see if I remember how to climb. And then we've got to get the water tote and the forks put on the tractor, and we've got to go around and fill up these water holes. The cold front has left the area, so I'm hoping around this noon time I can get in, do that, get out without really disturbing anything at all. So that's what's on the list for today. We're going to unbox this thing and see if I can climb a tree. Thanks for watching. All right, got this thing all assembled. Didn't want to bore you with the process. Pretty self-explanatory. Backpack straps. They did switch over your pads to these zipper pads, which I kind of like. Tether cord here to keep the two pieces together. Don't forget that. I've done it before. Bad deal. This one is a little nicer than the one I've had. I don't know, my stand was probably 10 years old. It's pretty dead when you bang on it. I will be adding grip tape to the front side of this thing. Where your feet rest, I'll be putting grip tape on there, and I'll be adding stealth strips to the outside of this just to quiet it down just a little bit more for those sneaky spots. I actually love these stands. The reason why I got rid of mine, hunting public land in Missouri, there's very rarely a straight tree. You can't use a limb saw on most public property. And to climb one, I was just super exposed. So I switched over to all my lone wolves. I think I got like 7 of those now. And I would hang them around different spots when we would go up and scout and all that stuff. And you can get in any tree you want to. So I ditched the climber, went to lone wolf, had really good luck with them because you can get in any tree you want to. You can climb around the limbs, where this you can't. But for what I need it for right now, to get on some of these spots where I've got that buck showing up, and even on the other side of the mountain, I've got a big lease over there. I think it's going to work out really good. So this is a little nicer setup than my older version of it, but I will be making some modifications to it. I like the stealth strips better than wrapping them in paracord because I've done that before with my lone wolves and it takes forever. And I switched even my lone wolf sticks. I just use the stealth strips on those. It just helps deaden the sound a little bit. So we're gonna go out, get this thing hung on a tree right here in the yard, and just kind of go over the basics of it. So let's go. All right, I'm just out here in the middle of the yard, little pine tree here. Don't recommend climbing pine trees because even with the best setup and everything you can do to keep these quiet, climbing a pine tree, all this stuff falls down, hits the ground. It's very noisy, super exposed unless you go up 60 feet. Not my first choice. If you have to and you got a good backdrop, you can do it. So let's get this thing apart, get it on the tree. All right, we got this thing on the tree. I take my strap to keep these two stands together, and I wrap it around the seat, slide it back, keep it out of my way before I climb. So pretty self-explanatory from here. Once we get it all up in the tree, we get climbed up to the spot. I'll obviously take this down. Sometimes I use this strap and strap these two together and pull them tight. So you don't have, if you've ever been in a climber before and like wiggle this thing and it hits the ground below you, or hits this bottom stand below you, sometimes strapping them together works pretty good. So the thing about these climbers are, you got to think about the angle of it. This one's not pitched very high right now, but if you're going to go up 20 plus feet, you got to have that thing pitched at a pretty good angle, because as you climb, the tree gets smaller, and once you get up there, you'll get to a level spot. So you need to start off pitched pretty high. Once you do this enough times, you kind of get used to it. I've climbed several trees, it's been years ago, but once you get it kind of dialed in, it's not too complicated to figure out. I have changed the settings on my tree stand in the tree. I don't advise it, because you got to lift it up with your feet and try to get it up to you and like pull that thing out and get in the next notch. It's not a great setup, but anyway, let's I'll show you a quick little video right here of how we get it going, how we climb up. So let's get to doing it. All right, once you find your tree and get your angle set, I strap my seat down. I normally just grab onto this thing right here, make sure it's locked in pretty good, and I just climb right in. And I always put my butt on this seat right here. This little cord right here, put your feet behind it. It kind of keeps your feet engaged into the stirrups. And then we'll just always twist to the right. I'm doing small steps right now just for video references. I don't have a harness on or anything. So then once you get that locked in, you just twist, pull up, and you're up a little bit more. Repeat that process, so on and so forth. So, and I stand a lot, so once I get into the tree stand, I don't use the seat a bunch. I'm normally like here with my bow hanger to the side. I just stand and wait. I prefer shooting standing up. I practice a lot sitting down, but I prefer the stand-up position. So that is the Summit Goliath. Like I said, I'm going to be making some little bit of adjustments to this thing with some grip tape and some silencing tape around the edges of this thing just to quiet it down a little bit more. So that is the Summit Goliath in a nutshell. Thanks for watching. All right, so once you've climbed up, you can decide what works best for you. I hunt the backside of a tree a lot, so I actually climb up like this, wind in my face or a crosswind, and shoot from the backside of the tree. So you can kind of maneuver your way around either side of this tree. So pretty handy in that aspect of it as far as being able to hunt both sides of the tree. I prefer the backside with a climber. Most of my lone wolf setups are to the opposite side, so I stand and draw, so I'm actually sideways of the tree. But these things right here are great for hunting backside of the tree. So that is my take on the Summit Goliath. 350-pound weight capacity, weighs about 21 pounds, so it's a heavier stand, but I mean, if you're hiking in, comfort's kind of where it's at. So if you're interested in a climbing stand, this is a nice one. It's roomy, it's comfortable. I said I sold mine 2 years ago. So tip of the day, don't sell your climber, you need them. All right, now that we've got a little practice in, got this thing all set up, I'm actually going to leave this thing hung on a tree outside just to get the natural winds and scents and all that stuff. I'm going to spray it down with my dead down wind. We're going to let it set for about 24 hours. I'm going to take it hunting tomorrow. So I just take this stuff right here, spray down, especially all the fabrics and everything, just to try to kill any of the scent that was left in production or me handling or whatever. And of course I'll spray down again once I go back out, but we'll let this thing sit out here in the open, let the natural air hit it, hopefully kill all the scent off of it, help us on our next hunt. Check us out on the Hunt Experience podcast. We're on Spotify and the Hunt Experience YouTube page. Thanks for watching.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Sunset fading, leaves are changing. Ooh, yeah. Summer's gone, but we're still dancing. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Sweater weather, chill together. Pumpkin spice on every corner. Ooh, yeah. Bonfire nights.